Welcome to the SFL. I'm Cameron Irvine, lead play-by-play man and commissioner of the First Football eSport League, and this extensive guide will help you find everything you need to get the full SFL experience, or the experience you want. The first step to learning more about the league is on SFL Interactive, the multimedia hub of our website. Head to simulationfl.net and click on the Interactive tab in the menu. Once you're there, create your profile and receive your first 10 points. They'll show up in the upper right-hand corner. Points can be used to pay for anything from player progression to photo galleries and so much more coming soon. On SFL Interactive, you can watch exclusive league content like behind-the-scenes footage and videos, amazing plays, and classic games. You can also watch live games every Sunday night and participate in live lotteries, which can net you more free points. Back on Discord, introduce yourself in the Introductions channel to receive permissions. Tell us how you found us, who you are, and what you're interested in. From here, you can message team owners and general managers and inquire about joining the live stats, beat writing, multimedia, or broadcast teams, and hunt for your future home on the field. There are two ways to get on a team, either as an undrafted free agent or through the rookie draft. If you join in the months of April, May, October, or November, you qualify for the rookie draft right away, since rosters are locked during these months while the league wraps up seasonal competition and teams are re-signing or signing veteran players. If you join in any other month, becoming an undrafted free agent is your most likely route. Either option can net you success. If you're going into the rookie draft, a little bit of everything can go a long way in a competitive field. Make an impression by purchasing or gaining your points for player progression in advance. Earn a high chat ranking and show your desire and professionalism in the community chat rooms and in private messages with teams. Join a league staff, team, or contribute to the league's general fund. Drafts are held at the beginning of every June and December. If you're going to get scooped up as an undrafted free agent, your chat ranking determines what type of opportunities you could have. To find out if there are any recent openings on teams, check the player openings section of Discord. If all rosters are full, don't be discouraged. Opportunities come up all the time, and it may just be the perfect fit to start your career. Every offseason, you're able to start completely from scratch if you want, or you can negotiate a new deal with your current team or a different squad. Games are broadcast Sundays through Tuesdays on our SFL networks on Twitch, YouTube, and Fuel. While you're subscribing to those feeds, make sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and give us some love on Instagram. If you need or want to talk to league staff, we're always listed in gold at the top right of the member list in Discord when we're online, and we'll always try to assist you or make time for you as best we can. That's the Simulation Football League, and that's just the start. Thanks for being here to make an impact. I can't wait to call your name.
And returning it back the other way is Jack Burton, and Carolina has a touchdown on a pick six.
Spins out of a sack, throws it to the back of the end zone. He's got his man. Touchdown.
So they're like, oh, well, we need real players. Like, oh, okay. So you need a quarterback? Sure.
He's up to the 30. He's gone, baby. My goodness. Somebody cool off that man's feet because they're on fire.
Throw, King wants it all now, and it's caught! Oh! Touchdown, Chicago!
Unbelievable play! That's got to be number one this week, and we just got started!
People like immersing themselves and all the buildup that goes in, and with that,
this is going to explode big time.
The SFL Network on YouTube welcomes you to the following presentation of the Simulation Football League.
Welcome to New Orleans, Louisiana, and it is an absolutely hideous day out here thanks to Hurricane Barry, now downgraded to a tropical storm, but we've still got SFL football to play here today as the Mexico City Aztecs come in to visit the New Orleans Sparrows. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Week 2 of the SFL Action, Season 13. My name is Eric Vinson, alongside Stephen Hacker, and we have Liam Crowder on stats today. Stephen, both these teams came out looking a little flat in Week 1, but they're looking to right the ship today as we get a look at the head-to-head comparison here today.
Yeah, tough game last week for New Orleans as they had to take on Alaska. But I expect a rebound week actually from both teams. I think the rain is going to maybe hurt the home team a little bit. Maybe play into Mexico's favor a little bit this afternoon. Should be interesting to see how it works.
It's certainly going to be the great equalizer, I believe, as we get a look at the coin toss here. As Mexico City, the visiting team, is going to call it in the air. They will call tails, and it looks like it's going to be heads. New Orleans is going to kick to start things off, and the Aztecs are going to go against the wind, get the win in the second half. Kickoff is next. Stay tuned. You're watching the SFL on YouTube, presented by APM Music. And as I mentioned, New Orleans going to get the ball teed up here to get things started. A rainy and muggy day here in New Orleans, Louisiana. We will talk about that over the course of the game. And New Orleans has the ball in the air, ready to go. Dags is going to receive it at about the 5-yard line. Sidesteps a defender, and he's got open space. He's going to take it all the way. I don't think anyone's going to catch him. Down to the near sideline. 20, 15, 10, 5. Almost. Touchdown. What a way to start the game. And there's going to be a flag on top of that for a late hit. What a way to start today's game.
Jeffrey Daggs, absolutely a cannon out on that return. Just turned on the afterburners and left everybody behind. And you see a little bit of unsportsmanlike there by the Pharaohs defense or special teams unit. Huge play by Daggs to start this thing off, man. That was great.
Man, and I didn't think we were going to get fireworks that quickly there as Jeffrey Daggs, he had a couple great returns because I was able to call his game last week against Baltimore. He had a couple returns that could have gone to the house, and Baltimore just had their number all night last week. As the kick is down, up and away, Cole Varner adds the extra point, 7-0, just like that. Mexico City on top, and New Orleans now to get an opportunity to answer. And, we said that the weather was going to be the great equalizer, not on that kickoff there, Steven.
Yeah, just absolutely. Dag said, doesn't matter to me, man. Rain or shine, I'm going to take this thing to the house.
An impressive showing to start things off as Cole Varner goes ahead and boots it downfield, fielded from in the end zone. New Orleans brings it up the center of the field, now bumps it out to the near sideline, and Aaron Arrington will get tackled at the 24-yard line. So New Orleans thought that they were going to go out on defense first, and Mexico City had other ideas. We would see Xander Gold to start things off here.
What do you think about these New Orleans home uniforms? I really like this uniform combo right here from New Orleans.
I'm digging it. The black with the purple and the white pants. I like it. It's looking good. 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line. I formation. Xander Gold under center. He's going to drop back to pass. Swing pass out to Logan Jack. And Jack gets about 6 yards as he is tackled on the 30-yard line there by the Mexico City defense.
Yeah, Logan Jack's like a Swiss Army knife. He does a lot of things for this Pharaohs offense. Expect to see him on the ground and through the air.
And he's got plenty of weapons there on offense as well. Matt Wolf, Deezer Powell, the wide receivers. Yassine Clifton comes over from Houston. He also spent some time with the Alaska Storm. Handoff this time to Logan Jack. Bounces out of a tackler. Still going to get wrapped up in the backfield by Mexico City. And that was a good play there by Fran Ogawa, one of the corners, to get in and make the play.
Yeah, Fran Ogawa is a 4-year vet for the Mexico City. He's been there his whole career. Shuts down opposing wide receivers on the outside.
3rd and 6 now from the 28. 3 wide receivers towards the bottom of your screen. Xander Gold, plenty of time. He's going to air it out, and he's going to throw an interception going the other way. Mexico City has it, and it's going to be Pablo Zamora with the pick. Out to the New Orleans 48 in great starting field position for Mexico City. They're in business to start things off here.
Yeah, Pablo Zamora does a good job. Almost overplayed it there, but recovered and got in front of the receiver, jumps up, makes the pick. Interesting decision, I think, by New Orleans to come out and throw in this heavy of rain, but that is kind of their forte. They do like to take the deep shot downfield, but just a little too rainy for me to throw a deep shot like that.
I tend to agree with you there, Steven. I think the decision to air it out there was probably a hasty one, but we will have to see. Still early on in this ball game, 9.5 minutes to go here in the opening frame. We will see the Hall of Famer Matt Wilson attempt his first pass, and out to Richard Montague on the far sideline for a gain of 3.
And I think Tank Bennett was the one that pushed him out of bounds there, stopped his forward momentum.
So just a small start there for Mexico City. They were very slow out the gate. I think they need to get Ray Bentley involved quite a bit here, as he was ineffective last week against Baltimore. 2nd and 7 now. Wilson in trouble, and he's going to go down. It's going to go as a sack, but no gain. 3rd and 7 coming up, as the New Orleans defense did their job there. Ray West, I think, got in there, along with a couple other defensive linemen, Tyrone Tarth as well, as they come out here quickly, Stephen.
Interesting, 5 wide. Matt Wilson's alone in the shotgun. Interesting formation.
Both these teams seem content airing it out to start things off early. 3rd and 7. Wilson to throw. Steps up. He's going to throw it over the middle, and it is incomplete. Hard to follow the ball there, as it looks like Kappa Jones, the free safety, got the deflection on that play, and it's going to be a 3 and out for Mexico City.
Yeah, and I think KL Barrett was the target there. Again, that was a medium route, intermediate route there, about 15 yards down the field. Tough to make those kinds of throws with low visibility today.
Yeah, absolutely. We mentioned it at the top of the broadcast. Tropical Storm Barry hitting New Orleans pretty hard after they had already gotten significant rainfall to start things off. So plenty of flooding, a curfew last night. We've got some Simulation Football League action here for you this afternoon. Good punt there by Mexico City, as the special teams unit downs it inside the 10, and New Orleans will start things off at their own 7. As I mentioned, Eric Vincent alongside Stephen Hacker and Liam Crowder on stats today. I want to thank you guys for coming out and checking us out this afternoon to kick things off for week 2.
I wonder how much the muddy field played a factor on that last punt, how it just died right where it landed. That was great and very fortunate for the special teams unit.
Hand off to Logan Jack. Jack with a good spin move, and he gets tackled in the open field by Mexico City. One of the linebackers, Ace Ebb, with the tackle there.
Yeah, Logan Jack. I really like this guy. I really like how he runs the ball. I like how he can catch the ball out of the backfield, and he's just, he looks to be a small guy, but he can do some damage in the middle.
And both teams coming quick out of their huddles as well. Not spending a whole lot of time. 2nd and 5. Pass over to Jack, and Jack did get his foot in bounds. Unfortunately for them, it's going to be a loss of 2, so it's going to be 3rd and 7 coming up for New Orleans.
Yeah, that's one of the risks whenever you throw a swing pass like that. Sometimes out to the sideline, you don't give your running back enough room to run, and it drags them out of bounds for a loss. So 3rd and long, we'll see what they have in store.
Newcomer Guapo Esteban is at the defensive tackle spot. Nick Daggs moves over to inside linebacker, and what a throw and catch there, as Matt Wolf drags his toe in bounds in coverage in the rain, and just what a heck of a play here, Stephen.
Yeah, great demonstration there of the drills that you work on throughout the week. Great awareness to spot the ball, spot it into his hands, and have the wherewithal to keep his feet in bounds. It's a great job by Matt Wolf.
Great way to extend the drive. As I mentioned, Nick Daggs moving over from free safety to inside linebacker this season. Hans Hayumi, Fran Ogawa are back again. Those corners there on the outside. Pablo Zamora and Jeffrey Daggs, we've already seen some fireworks from him as he returned the kickoff for the only score so far in this contest. Logan Jack with a gain of 5 yards, and he will be out to the 30-yard line.
Daniel Garcia's got that tackle, the linebacker for the Aztecs.
Second and 5, offset I formation. Gold is under center. Jack is dotting the I. Gold to throw. He's going to throw a quick out to the far sideline, and I believe that is Deezer Powell with the catch. It is. and he will get a good gain out to the 35-yard line where it's going to be 3rd and short.
Yeah, good job by the quarterback and wide receiver to recognize that the secondary, everybody was at least 10 yards off the line, so they switched it down to a quick out. You would like to see Powell get the first down there, but it was great recognition overall by the offense.
And a handoff there to Logan Jack, who's going to get the first down yardage out to the 38-yard line and continue to move the sticks for the Pharaohs on this drive.
And that's going to be a key, I think, on this day. Getting those first downs on 3rd and shorts, running the ball, keep the chains moving. The big shots, you can take those, but it's going to be a first down kind of game. With the rain, you're going to have to move the chains all game long.
Single back this time as Gold is under center. Quick throw, and he's going to find a man over the middle of the field. And Deezer Powell's going to turn on the Jets and leave the defense in the dust. Touchdown New Orleans as they equalize here in the early goings.
Well, there you go. A big shot happened. New Orleans with an absolutely electric play and brings their home crowd to their feet.
And let's get another look here, Steven. It was a quick pass, and Deezer just had all sorts of speed here.
Yeah, just beats the safety over the top. Dags with the electrifying play on special teams there, but can't quite keep up with Deezer Powell on defense, and that's 6 points for the Pharaohs.
And that was an impressive-looking drive there from New Orleans after they didn't look quite all together with their first possession. And starting off from inside the 10, going 93 yards to pay dirt, that's certainly a success story for any football team there. Good snap, and the kick is up and good, and it is 7-7 here in New Orleans. Jeffrey Daggs had the impressive kickoff return for a touchdown, and then we had the impressive over-the-top play from New Orleans to equalize there as we are sitting on a 7-7 ball game, 6:15 left to go here in the opening quarter. And New Orleans going to boot it downfield. Jeffrey Daggs already with a kickoff return for a touchdown. As I mentioned, spin move is not going to get him out of this one as New Orleans drops him at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, I think they're trying to send a message to Daggs there. Hit him hard. You got your one, but no more the rest of this game. It's a great job by the coverage team of the Pharaohs.
And Gold is looking good so far as he's thrown for 90 yards on a touchdown to start things off. 1st and 10, little shovel pass there, and it falls incomplete. They went ahead and tried to do that last week and didn't really had more success last week on a couple plays, not this time around, as that one falls incomplete there. And we do have a game break opportunity coming up here at the end of the next play. We will send it down south to Commissioner Cameron Irvine here in just a second. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Wilson to throw again. Pressure coming in his face. He'll throw it out to Ray Bentley, who couldn't quite come up with the ball. And with that, we will send it down to Cameron Irvine down in the heart of Texas for a game break.
Well, just as we were going to send it to Chicago to give you an update, a big play for the Wildcats. They're in the red zone, and they already lead 7-0 on a Buchanan Simons touchdown. Back to Eric Stephen in New Orleans.
And thank you, Cam. Certainly want to keep an eye across the SFL family of networks as Wilson throws it into coverage again. And again, looking for KL. Barrett couldn't quite come up with the play. And it's going to be another 3 and out for Mexico City. And Kappa Jones again on the action here, Steven. He's been very active.
Yeah, great job. I think he jumped that route earlier. So just great recognition by him, stepping up and knocking the ball down, trying to make a play. But, again, the weather here is gonna impact the defense, being able to bring those balls in. They already have a hard enough time intercepting it.
So Mexico City gets the fireworks to start off the game. And on offense, they've been running into the same problems, it looks like, that they have last week against Baltimore, and just can't quite find the rhythm in the early goings here in New Orleans. manages to get on the scoreboard using their offense, and they will get the ball back off of the Aaron Arrington punt return here out to the 42-yard line. Decent starting field position for the Pharaohs.
Yeah, he took a big shot downfield last time for a touchdown. I'd expect to see a handoff to Logan Jack, maybe a stretch play to the outside, try to build off of the momentum that you gained the last possession.
And a quick handoff to Logan Jack, who's got some room on the near sideline before he is met by Ogawa and company. It looks like that was Zamora as well getting in on the action. Good stop there for the Mexico City defense.
And Mexico City's got a good core of defensive players. It looks like, everybody that they have has been around for 2 or more years aside from the rookie Guapo Esteban, but, a good core here that they have, and I expect high production out of these guys.
2nd and 9. Gold is going to throw. He's got an out route to Deezer Powell, and he is hit out of bounds there. I'm trying to get the number. That might be Ogawa. Might be one of the extra corners
that looked
there.
Like Tantayumi.
That is Tantayumi. You're absolutely right, Steven. I apologize.
3rd and 2 from the 50-yard line.
And it's going to be a 3rd and 2 for midfield. Logan Jack is the single back here. 2 wide receivers and a tight end. And there's the shovel pass for New Orleans as it works for them to get enough for a first down out to the Mexico City 47-yard line.
And Daniel Garcia again for the Aztecs linebacking corps, stepping up, making a play.
And we got 42 strong watching this game right now. Do me a favor, guys. If you're watching, go ahead and smash that like button, hit the thumbs up. It definitely helps us out while we're broadcasting on YouTube as Logan Jack gets bottled up by the Mexico City defense, and he will get no gain on the play. 2nd and 10 coming up. Good play by the front lines of the Aztecs.
Yeah, Nick Dagg stepped up. He converted from free safety, but put on a little bit of weight this offseason, moved up the linebacker, stepped up, made a big tackle there.
2nd and 10 from the 46, full house formation this time from New Orleans. Going to be a swing pass out to Jack. Jack not really having any blockers out there, and it shows as the linebacking core of the Aztecs able to make the stop. And it's going to be no gain, 3rd and 9 coming up.
And I think that's the 2nd or 3rd time this drive we've called out Daniel Garcia. The guy's trying to earn a bigger contract.
Yeah, one of the extra guys getting out on the field, getting some extra help in there for the Aztecs. 5 wide for the Pharaohs on offense here. And looks like the Aztecs going with a little man coverage right up at the line. Gold pump fakes. He's going to throw to the near sideline. Tipped in, incomplete. Ogawa with a great play to tip the ball out of bounds. 4th and 9 coming up, and New Orleans will have to punt.
Yeah, great job by New Orleans' offensive line there. The Mexico's line stunt, they picked up everybody, accounted for everybody, and gave them plenty of time to make it throw, but it was just great coverage by the Aztecs defense there.
And Gordon Grasmanis is the punter for New Orleans. No pressure coming for him as he gets the punt away just fine. Ball is going to bounce at about the 9-yard line, and they're going to slide to keep it out of the end zone, and they will. New Orleans will down it at the Mexico City 4-yard line, and they will have to go quite a ways to get pay dirt here.
And again, I wonder how much that field, the ball just absolutely dies there. Normally that you see that one go into the end zone, but the muddy field, ball just kind of knuckleballed almost in place and just stood where it was and gave the return to the coverage team a great opportunity to pin him down inside the 5.
Almost like a good wedge shot there, just kind of sticks, doesn't go anywhere, and just right there for the taking as Ray Bentley gets in on the action as he gets a good run out to the 8-yard line. He was noticeably vacant from the Mexico City offense last week as they could not put up any significant numbers, and that unfortunately led to their demise.
Yeah, and good job by corner Rolleman Hood stepping up and popping Ray Bentley. That's not an easy task.
Only 42 yards for Ray Bentley last week as he gets another handoff here and some more room over on the near sideline. Skips through the defense and out to the 36-yard line, creating some room for the Aztec offense. Be sure to go ahead and check out our Facebook page as we get another look here. Steven.
Yeah, Tank Bennett just steps up after Ray Bentley makes about 3 really good moves and gets about 20 yards on the carry, but Tank Bennett finally shuts him down.
As I mentioned, be sure to check us out on Facebook, Simulation FL. Be sure to go ahead and check us out there. Eric Vincent alongside Stephen Hacker. Less than 2 minutes to go here in the opening frame in rainy and muggy New Orleans. 7-7 your score, but Mexico City is driving as Wilson in the gun. Going to throw it over the middle, and he's got his man out across the first down marker to the 49-yard line. That is Mike Daggs, and he had a heck of a week 1 in the losing effort.
Yeah, and Mike Daggs and Matt Wilson have a really special connection, and Levon Irvine on the coverage finally brings him down after the first.
And I'm glad you mentioned Levon Irvine. Let me go ahead and get to the New Orleans defense quickly. Ray West and Heath McDaniel II, both former Dallas players, moving over to New Orleans. Levon Irvine coming over from Vancouver last season as Wilson sidearms it over the middle, and he's got his man out across the middle of the field to the 28-yard line, and that is Richard Montague with another catch.
Yeah, and Tank Bennett again on the tackle. It was nice sidearm throw by Matt Wilson. Recognized he had an awkward window to get that throw out in. He whipped his arm around and made it hit a nice window. That was a great throw.
Aaron Arrington, Rolliman Hood, the corners for New Orleans. Kappa Jones, Tank Bennett. We've seen both of them in action at their safety spots. 1st and 10 now after the first down for the Aztecs. Throw out to Mike Daggs, who slips a tackle out of bounds and gets a gain of 6 on the play. Very, very close to the SFL red zone out to the 22-yard line.
Yeah, and again, it's the Wilson-Daggs connection. Just couldn't quite turn up upfield. Aaron Arrington pushed him out and then just couldn't quite keep his toes in bounds, but a good positive gain there.
And then on the Mexico City offense, Matt Wilson, Ray Bentley, we've seen both of them. They are both Hall of Famers. K.L. Barrett, Richard Montague, the wide receivers, and Mike Daggs has been very active as well. The big 6'7", 265 tight end as Ray Bentley powers through past the line to gain, and he will get a first down into the SFL red zone, marked down at the 18.
Yeah, a couple of Pharaohs were there to make the tackle, but Ray West did most of the damage.
And we might see one more play here before the first quarter is over. Depends on how quickly Wilson wants to snap the ball. He will. Last play of the first quarter has an open man towards the far end of the field, and that is caught before he is knocked out of bounds. And it's very hard to see in this weather. We will go ahead and get you those stats here on the other side as we have reached the end of the first quarter. Your score 7-7, both tied here in New Orleans. You're watching the SFL on YouTube, presented by APM Music. And the Simulation Football League, broadcast on YouTube, is presented by APM Music, Production Music Library, and Custom Music House. And brought to you in part by Fuel Beyond Imagination. Visit the all-new SFLinteractive.net today. By Matt Doyle Designs, the official branding partner of the SFL. And by Media Tech Institute. Turn your passion into your profession. Aerial shots brought to you by AirViews, united by drone. Visit airviews.com to see more drone footage. Obviously, this is a very, very much drier version of New Orleans with those drone shots prior to getting soaked by Tropical Storm Barry. And while we were away, it appears that Mexico City has scored on the touchdown there. A beautifully run route by K.L. Barrett, able to sneak into the end zone for the touchdown. So Mexico City taking the lead there on that route, Stephen.
And it was a good job by Mexico City there to take the lead. It's a good drive overall. Got 9 plays, 87 yards. So it's a good job by the Mexico City offense to work downfield and extend the lead or get the lead. And we'll see what their defense has in store now.
Well, and both teams with very impressive drives there. New Orleans, obviously, with the first one inside their own 10, and Mexico City matching with a drive of their own inside their own 10. This one to take the lead. So very, very impressive so far, especially with the weather conditions being what they are, as Cole Varner boots it downfield. And again, into the New Orleans end zone. Aaron Arrington, not afraid, though. He's going to bring it out and get good return yardage out to the 24-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10, just inside of the opening minutes here in, not even outside of the opening minute here in the second quarter. Eric Vincent alongside Stephen Hacker and Liam Crowder on stats today.
Let's see if New Orleans decides to take a shot downfield here on this drive.
That is Xander Gold's forte as he takes control of the offense, and Mexico City ready for that play, but Logan Jack slips through the tackle there. That was Fran Ogawa hoping to make the tackle, and instead Jack is going to get a gain of 4 on the play.
Logan Jack is a tough guy to bring down once he gets forward momentum. Once he picks up a full head of steam, it's rare that the first guy brings him down.
And LaQuinton Belzer in the chat. That Baltimore game has Mexico City mad. They coming out the gate with the heat fire. And I tend to agree, but New Orleans is looking quite salty themselves. And Fran Ogawa says, who's got the salt? I got the salt.
Absolutely leveled Logan Jack there. They were both running. They had the bull in a china closet, and they both just wrecked each other. Great hit.
Big time hit by the corner there. As he roughs up Jack. Jack's going to get the handoff, trying to get the first down yardage. He will. Out to the 35-yard line of New Orleans as they keep chugging along here and extending the drive.
Yeah, linebacker Danny Garcia again making a tackle.
Both quarterbacks looking exceptional to start things off. Xander Gold, 10 of 11, 104 yards, a touchdown, and that 1 pick on their opening possession. And Matt Wilson, 7 of 11, 78 yards, and a touchdown of his own, as Gold is going to air it out deep. He's got the near side. These are Powell past the defense. A diving tackle there by Tayumi saves it. But, man, what a play there. The connection from Gold to Powell once again.
And they don't care what the weather condition is. They can run this route in the dark. Dropped it in right over the corner's head. Great throw. Great throw downfield. Great catch by the receiver.
Ooh, and you called it, Steven. You were hoping for them to air it out a little bit, and there it is, man. You got some rockets coming this way. Gold to throw again, and he's going to air it deep again. He was looking for decent power, but it's an interception going the other way. Tayumi is like, no, sir. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
And he was ready that time. Yeah, let's see. Just took away the inside. Made Gold try to throw it deep to his back, the back shoulder, but the throw wasn't there. He threw it short, and the corner jumped up, made the pick. Tough field position for the Aztecs now.
Yeah, absolutely. That's certainly the bad news going along with the good news there. Tayumi with the impressive interception there to take it away from Powell, but Mexico City back up against the wall. Ray Bentley, though, not afraid as he runs right up the middle there for a gain of 6, and we will toss it on down to headquarters as Commissioner Cameron Irvine has a game break. Cam.
Thank you, Eric. Chicago all over Oklahoma City this afternoon. 28-0 in the first half. E.T. King and Buchanan Simons, a thing of beauty. Back to you guys in New Orleans.
Ooh-wee. And I don't know if we were expecting that to start things off. OKC getting a very, very narrow win in week 1 as Mexico City extends the drive out to the 21-yard line, but 28-0. I don't think we were seeing that one, Steven.
No, it's just, it's a matter of the game. Some people after week 1 made changes to their playbook, and looks like Chicago's turning it up.
Better watch out for those Wildcats. 1st and 10. Mexico City driving up 7, and Ray Bentley seems to have a little more pep in his step as he gets a gain of 7 on first down out to the 28-yard line.
Yeah, and let's give that tackle to Tank Bennett there again. That's probably his 5th tackle of the game. He's just a steady rock for the secondary of the New Orleans Pharaohs.
It always helps to have a very hard-hitting safety in the SFL, one willing to kind of be balanced in both run and pass game as we get a jump off sides. That's going to be a free play for Mexico City, a free 5 yards, as I think Ray West was the guilty party. We'll get the call from the head referee. And it's actually number 96. And that is Andre Daniels, the guilty party on the outside. And he will be the one flagged on that play. So that results in a 1st and 10 from the 33. Follow the SFL on Twitter at SimulationFL. Use the hashtag make an impact, and spread the word. And it looks like a good play there to Ray Bentley as he gets across to the 37-yard line for a gain of 4. Sorry about that on the delay there.
Yeah, the Storm's really kicking in here.
Catch there and cover it. No, it was an incompletion. I thought he was able to come up with it. That would have been a heck of a catch in coverage. Instead, it's going to be incomplete 3rd and 6 coming up for the Aztecs.
And that was the linebacker Cornelius Arthur who got there to help knock that ball loose.
And Stephen, we talked about it. Raincoats, galoshes, the whole 9 yards. We're certainly up here. Don't want to wear our fancy SFL broadcast coats today, man. It's been rough up here as we get a 3rd and 6. 4 wide receiver set for the Aztecs, and a good route run by Mike Daggs over the middle of the field. And that's a completion and another 1st down.
And, that's interesting to see. Mike Daggs is just doing work today. Levon Irvine is actually a good coverage linebacker. And Daggs has been exploiting him in coverage all day.
1st and 10 now from the 46 as he beats Levon Irvine there on the coverage. Wilson to throw. He's going to go deep to the near sideline. A diving attempt by Richard Montague, and it falls incomplete. Couldn't quite come up with the play. That would have been a heck of a grab there by Miracle Montague.
And I think Montague's going back to the huddle sucking wind there. I mean, he absolutely laid out, and I just think he landed on his chest, and maybe that led to why he dropped the ball because he couldn't breathe.
That'll certainly knock the wind out of you. Those balls, unlike the ones from the NFL, they're super inflated and well inflated.
Shout out Tom Brady.
2nd and 10. Woohoo! TB12. 2nd and 10 from the 46. And off to Ray Bentley, who plows through the line of scrimmage there. Lucky to get the couple yards that he did, as Levon Irvine was in there along with the defensive front to make the stop.
Yeah, and New Orleans is doing a good job of really keeping Ray Bentley under wraps. Yeah, any big 3rd and 8, definitely a passing situation for the Aztecs.
And 5 wide receivers set here for Wilson. Wilson going to air it out to the far sideline behind the line of the defense, and it is incomplete. K.O. Barrett couldn't quite come up with it as Aaron Arrington was going for it all and couldn't quite get it. K.O. Barrett couldn't get it either. So all in all, a win for New Orleans on defense.
And just another 1st down, and you're in field goal range. But the muddy field has been playing a big part for the special teams. So hopefully a pin down deep, maybe inside the 10, would be good for Mexico City here.
And Alex Lopez is going to be the punter here for Mexico City as he gets the boot away. Fielded from inside the 15, and a good spin move there by Aaron Harrington before he gets leveled on special teams. Man, what a play there by New Orleans as they get out to the 27-yard line. And a good return there, considering they were down inside their own 15. As we get a look at the weather here from Russell L. Honor Memorial Stadium here in New Orleans, 81 degrees, very, very windy. And as you can see, lots and lots of rain courtesy of Tropical Storm Barry. Certainly want to wish everyone down here in the bayou a quick recovery as they deal with all the floods and the awful weather here as the pass falls incomplete. That was a good play by Dan Ramirez, one of the extra safeties in on that play.
And on that weather report, it's 81 degrees with 22-mile-an-hour wind, but it's also really muggy. That you can feel the moisture in the air down here in the bayou.
Well, you can always feel the moisture down here in the bayou. I'm telling you that right now.
Oh
yeah. more so this time around, though, with all the extra rain that this area certainly didn't need. But alas, it is here, and we're playing some football in it as Mexico City jumps off sides. Free play for Xander Gold as he tries to find a receiver over the middle of the field as it falls incomplete. Mouth Wolf, the intended receiver, but it's going to be a free 5 yards for the Pharaohs.
I think that might have been on the rookie. But yeah, you lined up right over on top of the ball. I find that it's inexcusable. You're right there. You see if the ball's moving or not. You can't listen to the cadence of the quarterback. You got to, if you're right there, you have to be disciplined.
And that's the undrafted rookie Guapo Esteban, 6'7", 312, coming in and manning the middle of the field there. And that'll come with time. The more time that you're kind of going through the reps and going through the motions, you'll understand how to deal with quarterback cadence, especially a great one like Xander Gold, as he hands it off this time to Logan Jack, who gets a couple yards out to the 33-yard line.
Yeah, and that was Guapo Esteban and Nick Daggs there to make the tackle.
And good play there from the Aztec defense. And we've had our fair share of fireworks in this game, Steven, despite the weather.
Yeah, the first play of the game was absolutely dynamite. The big play to Caesar Powell over the. Oh my goodness! An interception!
Are you kidding me? An interception on the shovel pass and a pick six for the big dude coming into the end zone. Who was that? That was Moises Avila getting in there and making the pick six off the shovel pass. Let's get another look here.
Oh my goodness! A once in a career kind of play for a defensive tackle. Just. You'll never see that again for him. That was absolutely amazing.
Oh, man. And usually the shovel pass is one of those plays that just kind of catches you off guard. Not the case here. Moises Avila just ready for it. Breaks right up the middle of the field. Yeah, I'll take that. Rumbles his way into the end zone. Into the end zone. Touchdown. Mexico City as a bad snap comes away and it's blocked. New Orleans blocks the extra point, so it's going to be a 20-7 score as it was a god-awful snap in this god-awful weather. And that results in leaving a point on the board for Mexico City.
And Cole Varner has to be very, very unhappy. The guy does not like to miss extra points, field goals of any kind.
Cole Varner definitely on his way to be a Hall of Famer as he has completed the most field goals in SFL history. Aaron Arrington is going to just kneel it in the back of the end zone this time around as he will bring the Pharaohs out to the 20-yard line. So again, with all the rain and all the awful weather, we've had more than our fair share of fireworks today, Steve.
Yeah, right as you were saying it, then some more explosive plays happened. Just this, we thought it was going to be a weird game in the rain, and that's exactly what we got.
Well, lots of folks in the chat saying the game is drunk. Put an end to it. As Logan Jack gets a handoff, and he has a spin move. He has some room on the near sideline, turns on the Jets, and will make it out to the New Orleans 46-yard line before he is dragged down by Ogawa. And Ogawa's had a good day, but so was Logan Jack. Let's get another look here.
Yeah, great cut outside, great blocks to seal the edge. Makes a little bit of an unnecessary spin move. I think that was for the fans. But gets the first down and more, and great job, move the chains for the Pharaohs.
And Mexico City had an awfully hard time stopping the run in their last game against the Baltimore Vultures, as they allowed 174 yards on the ground to T. Roy Gaines, as Logan Jack gets another yard there. Now, I will say Mexico City has looked leaps and bounds better on defense this time around, but maybe New Orleans needs to get a heavier dose of Logan Jack in here.
Yeah, New Orleans is looking to break that number 7. They finished last week with 7 points. If they could just, get something going here and break that 7, got to be a step forward for your offense.
Gold pressure coming. He's going to throw near sideline. He's got his man. That's Matt Wolf with a catch. And he's going to make it manageable for a third down out to the Mexico City 48-yard line with just about 3 minutes to go here in the opening half.
Yeah, this is the time that you call up that play that you know is going to work. It's a third, and this you should have plenty of plays in your playbook that you can pick up a first down right now.
3rd and 3. New Orleans needs something on the board before they go into the half, and Mexico City is going to have none of that. That is that same linebacker that we've been calling all day long. Who is that?
That's Danny Garcia.
Danny Garcia.
6 tackles I think he has in the first half now. Guy's just exploding, and just, the pulling guard was coming, and he just steps up, filled the gap before the guard could get there and stop Bentley in the background. Stop Logan Jack in the backfield.
Give that man a raise. Good grief. He just came zorching up there with reckless abandon as Jeffrey Daggs fields it inside his own 15 and will make it out to the 19-yard line. And that's where Mexico City will take over with 2:12 left to go here. Both teams with all 3 timeouts, both teams coming off a loss in week 1. And you touched on it a little bit, Steven. New Orleans came out looking a little stale. Mexico City came out looking a little stale, maybe a little rusty. But we've definitely seen Mexico City tweak some things here. And New Orleans, maybe a little bit more of the same. As Wilson will hand it off to Ray Bentley as the New Orleans defense holds firm there. Tackle made right at the line of scrimmage. That's Heath McDaniel the second there as we have hit the 2-minute warning here in New Orleans. 20-7 your score in favor of the visiting Aztecs. You're watching the SFL on YouTube, presented by APM Music. Eric Vincent alongside Stephen Hacker, Liam Crowder on stats today. I want to thank you for coming out and checking out one of the opening games here for week 2 of SFL action as Matt Wilson, the Hall of Famer, stands firm in the pocket, throws a crossing route over to K.L. Barrett as he gets close to first down yardage out to the 28-yard line. Clock still rolling with a 3rd and 1 upcoming.
Yeah, Kappa Jones saved the first down, brought him down just short. Clock, like you said, clock's running. It's interesting. They do have 3 timeouts, so I'd like to see pick up the pace here a little bit if you're Mexico City.
Crowd on their feet here in New Orleans, trying to give the Pharaohs a little bit of added life. Pharaohs stacking the box, anticipating a run by Ray Bentley, and he just bursts up the middle, sidesteps the defender, and he'll make it out to the 38-yard line of Mexico City as they run a little no huddle.
As linebacker Cornelius Arthur with the tackle.
Wilson with pressure coming as he's hit as he's thrown, and it falls incomplete. Not sure why they're running no huddle on this particular play. 1:10 frozen on the clock. Wilson gonna try and throw it again, and this time finds K.L. Barrett. This time the clock going to roll as we roll inside of a minute to go. 3rd and 4 coming up. Both teams with all 3 timeouts still. Wilson gonna throw deep this time over the middle, and that's intercepted. Going the other way is Tank Bennett, who's got it, and he's got it out to the 43-yard line of New Orleans, and the Pharaohs have an opportunity to get this a little bit closer here before the half.
Well, I called for it, and I guess, that's probably the same thing would have happened to me. I was saying pick up the pace, and Tank Bennett gets the interception, and the Pharaohs have 3 timeouts, and they can push for points here before the half.
52 seconds to go here. Plenty of time. No Logan Jack in the backfield. 2 wideouts. Actually, 3 wideouts and a tight end. Gold throws an out route to the near sideline as it's tipped and incomplete. Couldn't quite hold on to it as Han Tayumi comes and lays the lumber on him. 2nd and 10 coming up with 48 left on the clock.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good crossing route there. It's kind of a timing route. Deezer Powell was coming underneath, and the the backup tight end was going out into the flats, and just great recognition by the Aztec secondary.
2nd and 10, Gold. Time, he's going to throw to the far sideline, and he did get his foot in bounds for the first down. As Deezer Powell makes an acrobatic catch. A little toe drag swag here, Steven.
Yeah, absolutely. You took the words right out of my mouth. Toe drag swag. This guy's a top receiver in the SFL, and he just showed why right there.
We'll see if we get a booth review here. I don't think we will, but we'll definitely see. We will not.
Yeah, it looked good to me. Save your challenge.
44 seconds left on the clock here. 1st and 10. From the Mexico City 46. Pharaohs trying to get within at least field goal range here. to get some more points on the board. Jack with the handoff, avoids a tackler. He's got room on the near sideline, out across the line to gain, where New Orleans will call their first timeout out to the Mexico City 38 seconds left to go.
Yeah, Logan Jack finally got away from his old buddy Daniel Garcia, but couldn't get away from Nick Daggs. It's a nice gain. Good spin move, just didn't quite work, but good run by Logan Jack.
There's that brotherly combo there, Jeffrey and Nick, both combining on that tackle. As we get a look at the beautiful stadium here in New Orleans. Not quite such a beautiful day, but we've had a heck of a football game so far, as Gold is going to air it out deep, and it's tipped, and tip drill to Jeffrey Daggs, who's going the other way, and he's going to get tackled at the 26-yard line with 30 seconds left to go.
And Daggs just making explosive plays all over the field today. Get some positive yards after the interception. I don't know if they've got enough time to get any points here, but great job by the Aztecs to prevent the Pharaohs from putting anything up.
We'll certainly have to see if they've got enough time here. Certainly all 3 timeouts to work with, but I'd say Jeffrey Daggs, player of the game so far here, if Mexico City is able to pull this out, as he's responsible for an interception on defense and a touchdown on special teams. Airs it out this time for Mexico City, and that is going to be incomplete. 2nd and 10 coming up.
And I guess Mexico City they're still hungry. They're taking the shots downfield, not electing to run and run the clock out. So interesting coaching strategy there to be this aggressive, but I'm not opposed to points.
No, and we saw it in the chat earlier. I think Mexico City got a fire lit under their butt a little bit with that Week 1 loss to Baltimore, thinking that is not the type of football that they want to be represented on the field. As Ray Bentley gets tackled right at the line of scrimmage, he'll actually lose a yard as Tank Bennett comes up and makes the stop, and maybe Mexico City not as aggressive as we thought they were going to be. Wilson going to give it one last try here. He's going to throw it deep behind the defense, and it's a catch. Can the defense catch up with him? They will. So it'll be all for naught there as K.O. Barrett makes a great catch in the one-on-one coverage, but the safety comes over to give him some help.
Yeah, good job by Kappa Jones to save the touchdown and end the half. Go into half with trying to stop the bleeding, come back out in the second half with a better strategy.
So
Matt Wilson's quietly having a good game. I'm sorry, but Matt Wilson's quietly having a really, really good game.
Yeah, absolutely, and he did that. He was that way last week as well in Week 1, as 20-7 is your score heading into the locker rooms. 2K Sports halftime show going to roll on as we get a look at the first half stats and highlights. Excuse me. Well, maybe we won't get a halftime show there, as we're right back out to New Orleans. And 12 of 22, 152 yards, touchdown and interception for Matt Wilson. Xander Gold looking good on the other side as well. 13 of 20, 1 touchdown, 171 yards, but he's thrown 4 picks as well. So that's certainly not what you're wanting from your quarterback there.
Yeah, in this rain, you don't expect to see the number of attempts that you've got, but it seems to be working. Maybe both teams are having a hard time adjusting to the ball in the air, with the rain coming down, and it's just working for both teams. They're just putting up prayers, and things are working.
So New Orleans to get the second half kickoff here from Mexico City as Aaron Arrington returns it out to the 21-yard line, and that is where Xander Gold will take over to start things off with the second half. What do you kind of expect to see from the Pharaohs offense coming out here, Stephen?
Well, again, I think Logan Jack is kind of the key to get their offense going. Deezer Powell and Matt Wolf definitely have big playability, but I think that the key is moving the chains consistently, and that's something that a top-tier running back can do for you.
And an absolute laser there, Deezer Powell, to start things off. He's been very active as we get a look at his stats there. 6 catches, 133 yards on the touchdown.
Yeah, and Deezer Powell, a SFL Pro Bowler last season. The guy's a monster. He puts up absolutely huge numbers every season.
Been very, very good to start things off here. Bunch wide receivers towards the top of the screen. Logan Jack going to get the handoff. Mexico City not fooled at all as they stop him behind the line for a loss of 1. 2nd and 11 coming up.
Yeah, you had Tyler Kane and Nick Daggs there to make that tackle. Tackle for a loss, actually.
Looks like they're going to flip the formation a little bit. 3 wide receivers towards the bottom of the screen. Logan Jack, sidecar right. Gold's going to throw it quickly over the middle of the field, and that's another catch for Deezer Powell, who's just been burning this secondary all day long. Only 7 points to show for it as we get another look.
Yeah, and that's going to put him over 150 yards receiving on the day. And, Jeffrey Daggs was there again making a play, but I think superstar on superstar, Deezer Powell likes his matchup.
Well, and again, Deezer's been looking very, very good today, so I'm not sure anybody on that Mexico City defense can kind of stack up with him, as it's a 1st and 10 from the Aztec 49. Handoff to Logan Jack, who gets stood up but plows ahead to the 46-yard line for a gain of 3.
Yeah, Nick Daggs, again, stuff in the middle, doing his job as a linebacker, so great job there to minimize the game by Logan Jack.
Jack, 14 attempts, 64 yards on the ground, no touchdowns as of yet, for an average about 4.5 yards a carry as he gets dragged down in the backfield. That's the rookie Guapo Esteban getting in there and making the stop behind the line, so it's going to be a 3rd and 10 coming up.
And the Aztecs defense, front 7 has been making Logan Jack earn every yard today. Again, I thought Logan Jack was the key point for the Pharaohs offense, and I'll continue to believe that, but, credit the Aztecs defense for stepping up and trying to eliminate him from the game.
Gold's going to throw here on this 3rd and long. He's going to throw deep into coverage again, and it is incomplete. Pablo Zamora almost had another interception as he had one earlier in the ballgame.
Let's see. Yep. Drops into the middle, waits for Matt Wolf to cut, and just jumps in front of the route. Nice athletic play. Couldn't quite secure the ball, but good coverage.
And last season, Mexico City had 3 impressive safeties. This season, Nick Daggs moving into inside linebacker. So 2 impressive safeties and a linebacker that plays like a safety. So this defense is still not a defense you want to toy with, especially through the air.
Let's see if the returner elects to return this or let it bounce. The last couple of times the punts have gone inside the 10, the returners are bringing it out. So let's see what they do here.
And Daggs lets that
And
one
there it
go.
goes.
Yeah, New Orleans he slides just inside of the end zone. Tank Bennett couldn't quite stop himself. So it's going to be marked as a touchback out to the 20-yard line for Mexico City.
I wonder what the average starting field position for this game is, because there has been some points scored, but there's been a lot of punts down inside the 10. So I wonder what the average is.
Yeah, there's been several of them that have been inside the 10. 2 of them went for touchdowns, so it's not like it really affected the offenses all that much.
Right.
As Ray Bentley gets a yard on that play before Heath McDaniel II wraps him up.
And Heath McDaniel's in his 4th season in the league, and now he's on his 3rd with the Pharaohs, originally with Dallas.
Ray West, Heath McDaniel II, both of them great players in Dallas history, as that franchise is now relocated to Seattle and rebranded themselves as the Tyrants, as K.L. Barrett gets a good catch there out to the 28-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and short.
And look there at the sky. It's still coming down heavy. It's still raining cats and dogs out here on us today.
At least it isn't freezing cold or anything. I mean, it's balmy, but, it'd be one thing if it was freezing cold, the rain was freezing cold. Like, I don't deal well with cold, man. As that's a good pass there and a good tackle, but not before 1st down yardage is met. K.L. Barrett making the play again for a 1st down.
Yeah, move the change for the Aztecs. I like it. I'd like to see a little more Bentley right there. Let's get him involved. He's having a pretty good day.
Yeah, Ray Bentley, 10 attempts, 61 yards. That's a good average there as he's going to get the ball out of the backfield on a swing pass for a gain of 9. And, Ray Bentley is one of those type of backs where he will catch it out of the backfield. He'll plow it up the middle. He's a very versatile back as we get another look.
Yeah, and breaks the tackle of one defender and then takes 2 more to bring him down. The guy's just a little wrecking ball.
So 2nd and 1 now as we approach 7 minutes to go here in the third. Mexico City coming out with 3 wide receivers. Bentley sidecar right in the gun. Wilson to throw. Going to throw far sideline as he gets his receiver inbounds as Montague makes the catch for the first down.
And I think Matt Wilson, again, good recognition by him, saw that the defense was playing way off the line of scrimmage. They only needed a yard, audible down to look like a quick out. And great job by the Aztecs to move the chains, recognize the defense, and got the first down.
So it ends up being a first down from the 45. Ray Bentley get the handoff, and he somehow squirts through. A little stutter step, and he's got room in the open field. 10,
there you
5,
go.
Touchdown, Mexico City.
Ray Bentley, my man, with the hesitation, sets up the defender and makes a move to the outside and takes it to the house. What a huge play for the Aztecs, extending their lead even more.
And Steven, I don't know about you, man, but I was looking at this play. I thought he was bottled up for sure. And then somehow he's out in the open field, little stutter step. That's all it took. He was gone.
Yeah, the changeup, just that stutter step to make the defense think, oh, I've got the right angle, and then just the burst of speed to get past him. So it was a great job by the veteran Ray Bentley to find the end zone.
Now, we have had a blocked extra point earlier today off of a botched snap. We'll see if Mexico City runs into the same problem. Not this time. Good snap, good hold, up and through. 27-7, your score, as Mexico City is enforcing their dominance over the New Orleans Sparrows here on an away game, and that usually does not happen here in the Simulation Football League. Be sure to like the SFL on Instagram at SimulationFL. And be sure to give our partner Nation's Best a like while you're there. Nation's Best, one of our newer sponsors here for the SFL this season. And we certainly appreciate all of the help and assistance they have offered us this season.
Yeah, they're a great follow on. Sorry about that, Eric. But they're a great follow on Instagram and Twitter. They put out good content, read their little articles that they have and stuff like that. So they're a really nice follow.
Yeah, absolutely. Lots of good information there. And, was watching Aaron Arrington come out there. Didn't want to cut off Nation's Best. We certainly appreciate him. But, yeah, definitely a good follow on Instagram. Be sure to take a look there. As Xander Gold comes out here, he's going to come out with 2 backs in the backfield, including Logan Jack, 2 wide receivers on opposite ends. 6:20 to go here in the third. Gold to throw. He's going to throw to the near sideline, and the corner was trying to make a play there. Matt Wolf instead is going to drag his feet and bounce for a good 8-yard gain as we get a look at the passing numbers there for the quarterbacks.
Yeah, I think the 4 interceptions was the highlight of that stat right there, of that side-by-side. You look down at the scoreboard and, that's a plus 3 turnover differential, and you're down by that many touchdowns, basically. So it's a disappointing stat category.
Yeah, absolutely. And New Orleans had 3 turnovers last week as well, so it's certainly disappointing for them as they continue that trend. This time with a first down, though, out across the 43-yard line for a first down.
Yeah, you seen Clifton with a nice catch, secures the ball and gets the first down. I'd like to see another big shot for the Pharaohs. Get some kind of spark going for your offense.
Instead, they're going to throw the out route there to Matt Wolf, and man, if both defensive backs were going for that ball, if one of them had missed it there, I think Wolf was going to go to the house on that one.
And that's a trusty route, the out route. It's a good timing route. Quarterback like Zay. You need to put some points up, so I'd like to see a shot downfield.
Second and 10 now from the 43. Gold takes the low snap. He's going to throw into coverage, and it's going to be incomplete Good coverage out there by the linebacker. And that was Nick Daggs, the former free safety, getting out there.
Yeah, Logan Jack ran a little out route and man up by Daggs. It just stayed with him. So, good pass coverage by him.
Third and long from the 43. New Orleans needs something on the board here to get themselves back in the ball game. Gold is going to throw. Blitz is coming. He's going to throw deep to the near sideline. He's got Matt Wolf, and that's going to extend the drive out to the Mexico City 33. Big play there from the Pharaohs.
Yeah, dropped it in right over the top of Pablo Zamora. I don't know if they went into halftime and maybe they saw something they liked on this side of the field because they're targeting Matt Wolf really, really heavily in the second half.
Well, it started off with Deezer Powell, obviously, and Deezer's been active all game long. But I think you're absolutely right, Steven. Looks like they might have found something on this near sideline here because they're targeting Matt Wolf a heck of a lot more than they were previously. First and 10, handoff to Logan Jack, who squirts through one defender and will get dropped at the 29-yard line for a 3-yard gain.
And Jeffrey Daggs' safety comes up to help the big guys secure the tackle of Logan Jack. So great job by the safety to get up in the box and help out.
4.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. 2nd and 7 for the Pharaohs. Hand off to Logan Jack, trying to follow blockers on the far sideline, and he will get another 3 or 4 yards out to the 26-yard line. It's going to be third and manageable coming up for New Orleans as Jack, he's been trying to do as much as he possibly can here, Steven.
Yeah, his new best friend, Daniel Garcia, again, I think he's got 7 or 8 tackles now on the game. I mean, I think he's trying to become best friends with Logan Jack today.
I think you're right. And Logan Jack, good guy to go ahead and be palsy with. As New Orleans going to throw to the far sideline. Deezer Powell was the intended receiver, but Tayumi out there on the play, and he says, no, sir.
So a good stand by the Aztecs defense. 22-mile-an-hour wind. This is going to be a brutal attempt.
And this is the first one we've seen all game, so we'll have to kind of see what happens. It's a 43-yard attempt. Zen Lee gonna boot it downfield, and he's got it from 42. Heck of a boot here in the wind as they narrow the gap here. 27-10 now, your score down by 17. It's going to stop the bleeding for right now, but they definitely wanted 7.
Yeah, you definitely wanted 7, but again, I think that key right there was breaking that unlucky 7. Now you got past that, that first week. You still have plenty of time. You have the weapons to score points and put up points in a hurry. So if you're New Orleans, I'd stick to your game plan. Go out there and put up the points that you can. You're at home. The crowd's behind you. The weather's a little wonky, but the plays seem to be happening. So I would go out there and I wouldn't be afraid to take the shot.
And Jeffrey Daggs already with a kickoff return for a touchdown on the very first play of the ball game. He'll return it out to the 29-yard line of Mexico City, where Matt Wilson and company will resume their offensive onslaught here that they've had on New Orleans. 27-10, your score. Eric Vincent alongside Stephen Hacker, Liam Crowder in the Stats truck today. I want to thank you guys for coming out and checking us out for the opening day of week 2 of SFL action. And Matt Wilson in trouble as he somehow gets rid of the ball. Fletcher was breathing down his neck and hits him as he got rid of the ball.
Yeah, I think that was more of a coverage sack there. It was great pressure on the outside. Looked like the corners were in bump. And just 3.5 seconds were up. You got to throw the ball, and the pressure was there. So good job by the defensive line.
And every quarterback has that clock in there. Tick, 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 tick. Got to get rid of the ball. Gone. Bye. And I'm sure that's what happened on that play as Wilson is in the empty set this time around. He's going to throw near sideline, and he's got his man for a 5-yard gain. That's K.L. Barrett as we get a look at his numbers today. 7 catches, 88 yards. Been very active in the passing game.
And Aaron Arrington there on the sideline in coverage. Secured it, but couldn't quite deflect it. Tough 3rd and 5 now.
And these 3rd and manageables have been very, very awkward today for both teams. 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6s. Just hadn't been very comfortable today. Ray Bentley, though, has other plans, and he's gone. No one's going to catch him. 20, 15, 10, 5, bye-bye. Touchdown, Mexico City.
I'd like to see a replay on that because the move, about 5 yards from scrimmage, and from there, it looked like the nearest defender was about 15 yards away. Let's take a look. Yeah. One move, and then Lisa, where is it? Just gone. Bye.
Well, and
Ray Bentley,
here's
his second explosive play, man.
I have a theory. I think what had happened was the play flow was just going to the outside there. It was going to that far sideline. So the defense was just following the play flow. And as Bentley did that spin move on the diving tackle there, he cut it back to the opposite of where the play was flowing. And that was it. That was all she wrote.
Yeah, great analysis. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it was just, great vision by Bentley. That comes with experience and just, knew how to manipulate the defense to do what he wanted to do.
And that was exactly what Mexico City was missing last week against Baltimore, as Varner goes ahead and adds the extra point, 34-10 now. As we get a look at Bentley's stats, 12 attempts to 182 yards, 2 touchdowns. And that's what we're used to seeing. That is Ray Bentley, the Hall of Famer. We're not used to him seeing, 40, 50 yards on the ground for a game.
Yeah, and I think that speaks volumes of the Baltimore's defense, how good they can be and how good they are. And then, I think that also speaks volumes to the coaching staff of the Mexico City Aztecs, making the proper adjustments, preparing and, maybe cutting out what they didn't need and figuring out what works for them. And they came out today and imposed their will.
Oh, and it was funny, too. We were talking about, myself and Annie Hamilton were talking about this on the broadcast last week. And week 1 is always just kind of a dicey, okay, well, who's actually good? Is anyone really good? Or, is this team good, or this team had a bad day, or are both teams bad? And this one just happened to, end up on the right end of things as Logan Jack gets a gain of 4 out to the 25. Mexico City, I think, kind of found their footing a little bit with new offensive coordinator Stephen Mullinax coming over from the Dallas squad now over in Seattle. So a 2nd and 6 now, offset I formation, goal to throw, 7-step drop, has time. He's going to throw it near sideline, got a crossing route there, and that is a catch for Yassine Clifton, who has been very, very missing from this New Orleans offense. Gets a good catch there and extends the drive.
Yeah, I only called his name a couple of times tonight, but Fran Ogawa was going to be credited with the tackle, and we've called his name plenty tonight.
2.5 minutes to go here in the 3rd. Gold under center. Quick pass. And he's got his receiver. A good gang tackle there by the Mexico City defense. I believe that was Ogawa along with one of the other corners. Looks like Kevin Champion on the stop as well.
And good read there by Xander Gold, going through his progressions, getting the ball out of his hands pretty quick. I think that was down to his 3rd or 4th progression there, but it was a good job to get through his reads quick and just take what the defense gave him.
2nd and 1 from Roferro, 45 yards.
And plenty of time here for New Orleans to kind of get themselves back. They're going to need to do it in a hurry, but it's still plenty of time here with 2 and change left on the clock here in the 3rd. Logan Jack, I'm not sure if I would have bounced it back to the middle of the field. I would have kept on going to that far sideline, but he does get enough for the 1st down to move the stakes.
Yeah, and they're going to need to reel off some big plays here. Xander Gold, I know you got the 4 interceptions, but I'd like to see you take a shot, maybe get Deezer Powell going here in the 2nd.
Hand off to Jack again, who gets through the line out to the 48-yard line. A good gain of 5 as he gets skinny there. Looks like Dags was kind of in there. Other Mexico City defenders making the stop as well.
And that's a good gain on 1st down. That definitely, the 2nd and 5, I'd like to take the shot because then your 3rd and 5 and your offense can still get the 1st down.
I formation. Gold's going to hand it off to Jack, though, and Mexico City ready for it there. There's your boy, Danny Garcia, coming in, making another stop. Get that man a contract, will you?
Yeah, he's trying to become Defensive Player of the Week here for the SFL. I mean, the guy's just absolutely, he came ready. And he's just not letting Logan Jack get anywhere without him getting a helmet on him.
So instead, now a 3rd and 6. Gold short drop throws over the middle of the field, and it is caught. What an impressive catch there by Deezer Powell. Blinded by the rain as we get another look on the replay. I couldn't even see Powell on this play, Steven.
Yeah, it's just a little flash out there, made a quick move, cut to the inside, and great recognition by Gold to get it there on a dime and move the chains, get yourself a fresh set.
From the 35, inside a minute to go here. Full house formation for New Orleans. Got to get 7 on the board here. Gold to throw. He's going to sling it up to Jack. Jack trying to throw the stiff arm there. Mexico City was ready for it. That's Tayumi with an impressive open field tackle, and it's only going to be a gain of 1.
Yeah, I'm really impressed. You know, Mexico has really slowed down the all-purpose yards of Logan Jack. You know, I trust the guy to go out every game and get, you know, almost 100 yards total, you know, easily every time. But, you know, the Aztecs have done a really good job here today limiting them, and I think that's why the scoreboard is as it is.
And speaking of the scoreboard, 34-10, your score as the Vizsla Aztecs have a 24-point lead over the New Orleans Pharaohs. You're watching the Simulation Football League on YouTube, presented by APM Music. And tonight's Simulation Football League broadcast on YouTube is brought to you in part by Nation's Best, helping NFL, college, high school, and youth players to help hashtag secure the bag. By ScoreStream, official live scoring app of the SFL. By Sector 6, custom esports jerseys and apparel, and the exclusive SFL shop provider. And by SpyGo, dedicated to the craft of audio. As we get a look at the Bayou itself, New Orleans, Louisiana. Aerial shots brought to you by AirViews. United by drone, visit airviews.com to see more footage. As we get back into the stadium, 4th quarter, get your fours up, everybody. 34-10, your score. Xander Gold's going to take a drop. He's going to throw it to the far sideline. Yassine Clifton avoids the first tackle there and gets out of bounds at the 28-yard line where it's going to be a 3rd and short.
Yeah, Clifton shakes free of Fran Ogawa and just couldn't quite regain his footing. You know, I think the field being a little slippery, he just took his momentum out, or his momentum just took him out of bounds. But a great play there by them to make it a 3rd and manageable now.
Eric Vincent alongside Stephen Hacker, Liam Crowder in the stats truck today. Want to thank you guys for checking us out. Week 2 of the SFL, 3rd and 3 from the 28. New Orleans. A little shovel pass there, and that didn't go so well for them the last time around as it resulted in a pick 6. And Guapo Esteban was all in on the action there, and New Orleans going to have to attempt a field goal here, Steven.
Yeah, very rare pass deflection for the defensive lineman, but interesting to see that play again, considering the last time they called it returned for an pick 6. So it's dangerous play call.
And a dangerous field goal attempt as this one's going to be a 45-yarder for Zen Lee. Nailed it from 43 earlier. Good snap. Kick is up and away. And this time, no good for New Orleans.
Yeah, and it's tough to get the right curve on the ball, you know, hitting it at the right angle with the wind. If the wind dies down just a little bit, if it goes from 22 to 12, all of a sudden, the ball begins to knuckle and do something weird. And it's tough to go out there and make a field goal in these conditions.
And man, that wind is impressive out there. 22, 23 miles an hour, going south by southwest, I think, at kickoff. And it is going to be hard for these kickers out here. I'm impressed that Zen Lee was able to get one of them, honestly. As he misses that one, Aztecs take over as Matt Wilson throws it to K.L. Barrett for a 4-yard gain.
And Aaron Arrington on the coverage, gives up the 4 yards, but nothing else.
And we've talked about it, Steven. Mexico City has been very, very impressive here in its second week of action after looking ineffective against the Baltimore Vultures. Free play here for the Aztecs as Wilson's going to throw it down towards the bottom of your screen to Richard Montague. And they might just want to take the 5 yards, as I don't think Montague got quite that much.
Neutral zone infraction, number 96, defense, 12-yard penalty. Repeat, second.
And offsides, Andre Daniels again, the guilty party, had a flag thrown on him earlier for a neutral zone infraction, so that's another 5 yards for the Aztecs.
And trying to disrupt the timing of Matt Wilson. You know, he's picking up a rhythm. He's kind of been in stride all game, so anything the defensive line can do to try to get there, but Matt Wilson made him pay there.
So now a second and very short for the Aztecs. Turnaround handoff. Ray Bentley, who's got room up the middle, been moved, and Tank Bennett is forced to make the stop as Bentley gets out into the open field for another first down.
That's a good game by Bentley. You know, he's averaging about 15 a carry, and I think he just got 15 more there. Great job in the trenches by the Aztec O-line to clear a gap and let Bentley work his magic.
So 1st and 10 now from the 44-yard line of New Orleans. 34-10 your score. Mexico City with a commanding lead here in the final stanza. Bentley going to get the handoff. New Orleans ready for it at the line of scrimmage. Good gang tackle there by several different defenders. One of them being Levant Irvine, the offseason acquisition from Vancouver.
Yeah, and if you're the Pharaohs, if you can hold them right now, I think this would be a tough field goal even for Cole Varner. I don't think they would even line him up. So if you can make it stand right here, don't give up a first down, you keep Mexico City from scoring points.
Still second down, though. A couple more downs to get through as Mike Daggs makes the catch. And the big tight end rumbling forward out to the New Orleans 27-yard line, extending the drive and giving his Aztecs another first down.
Yeah, and nice route. Good recognition by Daggs to turn outside quick and get the ball, make sure he secured it. Gave him a first down. Look at that graphic.
Beautiful graphic. As we get a look at the upcoming broadcast schedule there. London and Las Vegas going to be on YouTube. Seattle and St. Louis also on YouTube later on today at 5 Central, 6 Eastern. Carolina and Vancouver will be on Twitch tonight, 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern. Be sure to stay tuned to the SFL family of networks as we get a 2-yard gain out to the 25-yard line. 2nd and long coming up.
Yeah, good job by Heath McDaniel to corral that one.
Bentley, the lone back, offset. He's going to get the handoff, plows through the line of scrimmage, and avoids the first tackler before he is knocked back by Tank Bennett. At the 21-yard line, it's going to be 3rd and manageable coming up.
That's a nice 4-yard gain by Bentley there. Just keep the clock running. 3rd manageable. Set your offense up for something nice.
And that's all you need to do if you're Mexico City at this point with a 24-point lead, You know, there's really not much you need to do at this point as Daggs with a rare drop. Mike Daggs couldn't quite hold on to the football as it falls incomplete. Mexico City will probably attempt a field goal here.
Yeah, normally I'd say it's a pretty easy field goal, but with the wind, you know, again, I'm not a big fan of kicking in 22-mile-an-hour wind, but Cole Varner's is sure a bet as any.
And that's why he is who he is. Cole Varner made more field goal attempts than anyone else in SFL history as he will boot this one away. And what a rocket, no problem. 38 yards down the middle, 3 more points for the Aztecs.
And that nice straight on, he doesn't get off to the side like the soccer style. He just takes 3 steps back and just rumbles forward and plows it through.
So a 27-point lead now for the Aztecs. New Orleans running out of opportunities here with 7:15 left to go in the 4th. Arrington going to field it in his own end zone, bring it out. He's trying to follow some blockers. Spin move, going backwards. And he will be knocked down at about the 21-yard line. A generous spot there, Steven. But that's where New Orleans will take over.
Yeah, he broke the tackle and looked like he was trying to create something else. I thought he was making a football move, but yeah, definitely a generous spot there. I agree.
And getting a look at Ray Bentley's number, 16 attempts, 201 yards, 2 touchdowns. I'd say that's definitely a response from his week 1 ball game there, where he only had 40 and change on the ground, as Logan Jack still trying to keep his boys in the game. He's certainly been the bell cow today, as he's had over 20 carries and gets 6 more yards there out to the 27.
Yeah, great extra effort. He slipped 2 defenders there before Jeffrey Daggs finally brought him down. But, I like the way this guy plays. I like his intensity. I like how versatile he is.
2 backs in the backfield for the Pharaohs. This time, Gold under center. 1 wide receiver towards the top of the screen. Jack trying to follow blockers, and will get through the line of scrimmage out to the 29-yard line, where it's going to be a 3rd and 1. And there are the numbers we were talking about earlier. 201 yards for Ray Bentley and just 80 on the ground for Logan Jack today.
3rd and 1 from your Pharaohs 30-yard line.
3rd and short. Gold instead going to throw a swing pass to Jack. Has to beat that one man and will not. Great open field tackle, and Ogawa's been doing that all game long. That's going to be a 4th down. New Orleans will have to punt.
Yeah, and that's just what you needed if you're Mexico City, and absolutely not what you needed if you were New Orleans. You like the matchup out in space, 1-on-1, Logan Jack with Fran Ogawa, but Ogawa won that one.
There's really not a whole lot of options here for New Orleans at this point, as Gressmanis is going to have to punt it away. Fielded just outside of the 30-yard line and out to the 34 is Jeffrey Daggs, where Mexico City will take over and try and bleed some clock with 5.5 minutes left to go here in the last quarter of play.
First and 10 from the Savages 34-yard line.
They're going air. I see pass.
3 wideouts for Wilson to work with. Sidecar left is Bentley. Wilson to throw it over the middle of the field, and that's caught. Mike Daggs with the catch, making up for the drop he had earlier in the ball game for a gain of 7 out to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, and the trusty relationship they have there. Wilson will throw it to Daggs almost anywhere on the field.
Bentley, the single back offset. Wilson under center, has time. He'll throw it over the middle of the field into coverage, and a catch there by Miracle Montague as he makes it out to the 46-yard line of New Orleans, as Mexico City just continues to move the ball on this Pharaoh defense.
Let's see if we get a look at the pocket there. Look at the pocket for Matt Wilson. Great job by the Aztecs defense to secure their blocks and give Wilson time to make a nice throw over the middle.
2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, single back is Bentley. Wilson under center. Pharaohs with 7 in the box. Hand off to Bentley. Bentley sidesteps 1 defender, and he'll get gang tackled by a couple more as Rolliman Hood comes in there along with Heath McDaniel II for a gang tackle. It's gain of 4.
Yeah, just keep handing it off to Bentley. Keep wearing away at the clock. This game is all but yours if you're Mexico City.
Yeah, all they got to do is just chew some clock here, Steven. You're absolutely right. 27-point lead here with less than 4 minutes to go. And Matt Wilson, the Hall of Famer, knows that as he's making the play clock go all the way down before he snaps the ball. And Ray Bentley zooms up the middle of the field. He is certainly not done, as he's had over 200 yards of offense tonight for his team as we get another look here.
Yeah, Andre Daniels is going to be the one that chases him down from behind. Bentley's going to get the first down again. The clock's going to run, and keep pounding it. Keep handing him the ball. I like what he's doing here. His averages are great. He doesn't show any sign of slowing down anytime soon.
I mean, it's the only real way to keep the clock going, as other than maybe kneeling the football down, but you certainly don't want to do that with 3 minutes to go, even being up by 27. Wilson under center. And he's going to take it all the way down to 2 this time as Bentley gets another handoff and still gets 5 yards on the play before McDaniel II knocks him down to the turf. As we look at Bentley's numbers, 11.5 yards a carry is nothing to shake a stick at.
Yeah, he's just continuing to work, and McDaniel II's kind of found his light here in the second half. He's getting off blocks a lot better and reading the gap, finding out where Bentley is. So he figured things out in the second half.
Probably get one more play off before the 2-minute warning hits here in New Orleans. The Pharaohs stacking the box, anticipating another run here by Bentley. As it looks like the backups, the second team has actually come into the ball game. That is, who is that? That is Lee Gallant, the backup running back there for Mexico City, as they run the football up the middle there for a first down.
Yeah, and no urgency at all. Just going to let the clock run down to the 2-minute warning now.
And we have hit the 2-minute warning here in New Orleans. 27-point lead for the Aztecs, as this one is all but in the bag. You're watching the SFL on YouTube, presented by APM Music. And again, to take a look at our upcoming broadcast schedule, the London Knights will visit the Las Vegas Fury out in the desert, coming up on YouTube later on today. The Seattle Tyrants will visit the St. Louis Gladiators, and both of those games going to be at 6 o'clock Eastern time later on. And we do have another broadcast on Twitch as well coming up, 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern. Be sure to check out all of those broadcasts on the SFL family of networks. This is one of our opening games here of the Week 2 slate. Eric Vincent alongside Stephen Hacker, Liam Crowder on the stat truck. We certainly appreciate him and all his efforts today. And we appreciate every single one of you coming out and taking a look at the Simulation Football League. We love the exposure, love seeing new people in there on the chat, so be sure to tell your friends. And we want to make sure that all you guys are enjoying the football action here while that other league is kind of, off on vacation. Steven, another first down here for Mexico City as the number 2 team looking good with a one-handed grab there.
Yeah, backup quarterback Rafael Rosanes has got a completion there and found his tight end on that play, David Jr. So even the second string coming out today with looking good for the Aztecs.
So first and goal for the Aztecs now, seeing if they can add more points to the board. Handoff right up the middle of the field, and this New Orleans team has had tons of trouble here stopping the football on the run game, as New Orleans calls their first timeout with 1:48 left to go.
Yeah, Heath McDaniel II again. I think that's the 5th time here in the second half we've called his name, so he's really trying to plug the holes for the Pharaohs.
And they allowed 97 yards on the ground to Alaska, but Alaska was just, pummeling them through the air. So maybe not such a telling stat as New Orleans stops them right at the line of scrimmage this time for no gain and burn their second timeout. 3rd and goal coming up with 1:46 to go.
Yeah, and Levon Irvine's no stranger to the weight room there. He just leveled the backup running back.
Oh, and he's been a very successful linebacker in this league as well. You certainly don't want to mess with Levon Irvine. High formation this time for the Aztecs. Handoff right up the middle and stood up right at the line of scrimmage.
Again.
Where it's going to be a 4th and goal. No more timeouts left for for the Pharaohs. But the Aztecs will get a field goal attempt. Sorry, Steven.
I was just saying Levon Irvine, man, just absolutely went in there with he was headhunting, wanting somebody to hit.
6'2", 245, his first season with New Orleans. Spent time with Vancouver, Vegas, and Sioux Falls prior to this season. And he's been a force to be reckoned with ever since he entered the league. So certainly a good addition for the Sparrows defense. Cole Varner with a little chippy here, and it's going to be 22 yards up and through. So add 3 points to the board for a 30-point advantage. And, we talked about this a little bit earlier, Steven. I think we kind of got a glimpse of what the Aztecs football team could be going forward here in Season 13.
Yeah, they came out really strong. Like we said, week one wasn't exactly what they wanted, wasn't what we were used to seeing out of them, and they showed up today and kind of in familiar fashion almost. The points are pretty high today, but as far as their ground game, getting Bentley going, finding Montague on some big plays. I mean, Mike Daggs for sure first downs. I mean, it's the Aztecs that you're used to seeing.
Absolutely, maybe not, and we saw this in the chat as well from Suit and Tie 27. This isn't the New Orleans team that I saw last season. He's absolutely right. To start things off, New Orleans just hasn't quite been on the ball. But, when you start things off against Alaska and Mexico City, those are two tough opponents to start things off. And it doesn't get any easier next week as they travel to the Rockies to take on the Denver Nightwings, who, oh, by the way, were the league runner up last season from season 12.
Yeah, gauntlet of a schedule here, the first three games for the Pharaohs. And, there's a lot of parity in this league. You can't go in and assume any week is a win. You can get shocked and surprised, and so you have to go out and fight every game. But those first three matchups, those are definitely tough games. And Xander Goltz played really well today. He's got the interceptions. That's really what's hurting him now.
Absolutely, and we get another look here as Xander Gold has thrown it into coverage quite a bit today, and just hasn't looked quite as sharp as we're used to seeing. And I think those interceptions kind of show that today, Steven.
Yeah, his yards are definitely up there. I know Deezer Powell's had quite a day. So yeah, 287 for Xander Gold, 182 for Deezer Powell. On 12 targets, 9 receptions. So Deezer Powell had a nice day. It's just the turnovers really hurt New Orleans.
And a big play there by Matt Wolf as he gets past that second team defense out to the 48-yard line of Mexico City. New Orleans trying to hurry things up here, see if maybe they can add some respect on that scoreboard. Gold going to take the snap. He's going to throw it deep again. This time near sideline. Deezer Powell past the defense this time, and he's going to go and find Pater. Touchdown, New Orleans.
And that's just the difference between your first and second string there. I mean, there was no pressure on Xander Gold. I don't even think the corner was even breathing on Deezer Powell, and it's just clockwork for these two guys. They work on this all the time, and that's just way too easy.
Yeah, and you could definitely tell that the second team corner just couldn't quite keep up with Deezer Powell. Certainly a mismatch there. And on top of that, like you mentioned, Xander Gold and Powell, they do this back-to-back all the time, constantly in practice, constantly working on their routes and whatnot. So that connection has certainly been developing quite a bit here in season 13. And the extra point up and good from Zen Lee. So 40-17 the score. As Mexico City will get the football back. New Orleans with no more timeouts. So Mexico City will probably sit on it a few times and call it a day. That is, if they can get the onside kick here upcoming from New Orleans.
Weird things happen. The field is wet. Let's see if this is bounces towards the Pharaoh.
Very good point here, Stephen. We'll see. And a good bounce there right into the waiting arms of the Mexico City special teams as they will stop it at the 43-yard line, minute 4 left to go, and that'll be the ball game.
Yeah, a couple of kneel downs, and we'll head for the locker room. Everybody gets a chance to go take a shower and dry off, get the mud out of your eyes. And other places, I imagine.
Shoot, I've got mud in my eyes. I can only imagine where the mud is with them. And again, want to mention is we get a kneel down here from Mexico City. Mexico City will actually have their home opener next week in week 3 in Estadio Azteca. They will play host to the Vancouver Legion coming down from Canada. That'll certainly be a great ball game, so I want to stay tuned for that. And coming up for the Pharaohs, we mentioned it earlier, they're going to have to travel out to the Rockies of Colorado to take on the Denver Nightwings, the season 12 runner-up in Richard L. Snowden Memorial Stadium. So certainly stay tuned for that as well. But again, we're only getting started here in week 2. We got plenty of stuff coming up. You want to stay tuned. We got more games coming up here on the SFL family of networks. Got some stuff coming on. Actually, right now, looks like they should have kicked off already about 15 minutes ago. So check that out on YouTube, and we'll have some later. Excuse me, it starts in 45 minutes. as I'm getting from headquarters there. So at 6 o'clock Eastern Time, 5 o'clock Central Time, as we have hit the end of this ball game. 40-17 your score. Mexico City securing the win and doing it in dominant fashion as we roll the 2K Sports post-game show. Steven, any final thoughts before we let the people go?
Well, my first half MVP would be Jeffrey Daggs, but my second half and probably the game MVP has to go to Ray Bentley. 219 yards, 2 touchdowns, and two dynamite plays that just brought life to the Aztec offense. It was interesting, I think, to see New Orleans maybe on defense in their secondary kind of play off of Mexico City. I thought maybe whenever they were pressing, they had a little bit better success. Again, but Ray Bentley just kind of ran wild there in the second half. It's tough to keep up with that. Challenge for any team to hold Ray Bentley down when he's firing on all cylinders. On offense for New Orleans, again, I think the production was there. Maybe it was the turnovers that kind of bit you. Having 4 interceptions that's a tough day at the office, man. And the weather didn't help, but the scoreboard shows that teams were able to put up points, so it's no excuse today.
Certainly not. And Ray Bentley definitely going to get my vote for player of the game as well. 219 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns for Mexico City. I would certainly appreciate every single one of you folks for coming out today and checking us out. Mexico City Aztecs victorious over the New Orleans Pharaohs here in rainy and muggy New Orleans, Louisiana. This has been a presentation of the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. We have been live on YouTube. Be sure to check us out at simulationfl.net for any further information. And stay tuned to the SFL family of networks, as I mentioned, for additional broadcasts later on today. On behalf of Stephen Hacker, Liam Crowder, and all the great people down deep in the heart of Texas at SFL HQ, I want to thank you for checking us out today. Thank you, and good day.